Hello everyone, this is the new OASE BIORB Earth. It's a really smart terrarium. I'm gonna build this today, but I'm probably gonna need some help. Yeah, that was weird. This is the brand new OASE BIORB Earth, which is basically an automated terrarium. We're going to go through its features as we go along, and most importantly, I have Kuba.
Hi everyone.
Really good friend of ours. He's going to help me out with this build because even though we've built quite a few terrariums on this channel already, we don't really know much about them. But Kuba is a master of terrariums, so it's going to be great help. He actually provides us with the plans for this build. So if you are into this thing and you want some special plans, hit him up on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram.
You see his account down here. And yeah, let's get through it. We haven't opened this yet, okay? So you're gonna go along with us and see our struggles. This comes off, and as far as I understand, this is the light unit.
Why you figure out?
Oh, okay, that's easy. You see a lot of stuff in here. First of all, there is a drainage container underneath, which you don't see. Here is the inlet for it. So this is where water goes down. You have a hose where you can actually release the excess water if you see the water level rising. Then this one is the cold mist. These two are fan exhausts, so this is how it can create air circulation if you need it. And then we have these two sprayers for the water, and there's quite a big backside of this stuff which you can fill up with water, and that's how the sprayer works. The thing is, we need to make sure that we don't cover up these holes when building. First layer that goes in is this sponge. I think this helps you that the water doesn't just drops in the bottom immediately. It actually goes through this sponge. It actually takes up some of the water, so it helps to keep humidity. The only thing you need to make sure of is that this hole is right where the drainage is. So this goes in. It's actually a smaller size than the bottom of the terrarium, so this way you can hide it with soil. You won't see the extra layer from the front of the terrarium. The idea we have is that we want to use the cold mist. So we want to build a scape that somehow leads up to the exit of the cold mist, so it can come down on the hardscape itself. Obviously, there is no water level in this, like in an aquarium, so it's much easier to build a hardscape because we don't have to think about gluing these together. If we can put it together steady enough not to break when we're gonna move it, that's enough, actually. This could work if we could put something underneath to hold this table. Then it can actually hold the weight of the bigger one.
We can actually put already some soil in it to stabilize the wood.
Yeah, probably that would help. Okay, let's put in a layer of soil.
On the bottom, we will put some really porous stones mixed with charcoal. That way it helps to remove any harmful chemical from the water.
What you have to know about this is the side. This is not glass, this is acrylic, which is really easy to scratch. So you have to be really careful when building, and also later on when you're cleaning it. This is like the substrate in the aquarium, and there's going to be a covering layer, right?
No, this is just the bottom layer that helps aerate the soil as well as helping with the drainage.
Yeah, so that's why. So there's going to be a soil layer on top to cover
there
this.
Is. So this soil will provide everything, basically what we need for a terrarium plant. Also, it contains a lot of minerals and nutrients for the plants. It's clay-based soil, which has a lot of aeration. Also, it has some activated charcoal in it that also helps to remove any harmful chemical.
Just a trick that we know from aquascaping.
Okay.
If you start pouring on the sides like this, then you can easily avoid pushing the first layer to the glass. accidentally. Okay, I would say this is a good base layer. We can start building on this, and then later on we can fill up the gaps if we need to. Yeah, now I can actually push it in. Yep, that's already stable.
A little too big.
Ah, it's fine. Just have to find the way in. It's good this way. When it comes out, it leads to this, and it's gonna fall down this way, probably.
Yeah, that could work.
We might help it with some smaller ones. The cold mist basically doesn't have any other way. It has to fall down and follow the hardscape itself. I'm happy with the base. So I'm not sure about the plants, what kinds we have. Do we want to raise the soil to the back?
Maybe on this side a little.
Okay, so this is where the expertise come in. I would just start planting at this moment, and Huba says that that's not the next step. He has some, well,
goo.
Yeah, it's some gooey stuff. It's not too nice. Oh, and another gooey stuff, okay. So both of these are helping to avoid any molding and fungus on the wood later on, and it helps to lead the water and makes it easier for the water to get sucked up into the wood, which is going to help us propagate moss on it.
Yes, so this takes a while, but it's worth it at the end.
And how are you going to clean that?
I'm gonna just wash it with some water. So we're done with the pasting of the wood. Now we will just put some of these sticky organic paste between the spaces where the woods are not connected perfectly. So that way, if we hide these connections, our brains will connect the dots and it will look more natural. So I'm gonna add some crushed sphagnum moss to the black organic goo. So that way we can plant in it as well.
So, what's that?
These ones are a type of fungi called mycorrhiza. Before we finish the hardscape and the soil, we have to apply these on top of the soil and then flatten everything. And this fungi will provide the root system once it's developed around the soil. So this helps the plant take up as much nutrient as they need.
Okay, so you guys know how Balazs is very keen on the fact that he's the only one who can use his tool cart, because other people will put glue on the pincets and the scissors. Now, this installation, or what should I call this? This is what I found on his cart. Yeah, it's a good thing he's the only one using it. Okay, so we have arrived to the fun part. We're gonna start planting.
I usually start with the bigger pieces and moss comes later. So all the plants that we would like to give any significance in the layout, we plant them first, and then we will put some different mosses around them.
Okay, let's do that. These are climbing plants, right? So
These are sort of climbing plants, more like carpeting plants with a climbing attitude. So you can put the start.
Okay, you can see the start is definitely goes into the soil, but the rest is like just hanging on to whatever it can.
Yes. Maybe I'd put some smaller pieces here so they will fall off
here,
the...
so they're gonna grow down.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Here comes the moss.
No, here comes the ferns.
The ferns.
You want to do the moss?
No, it's fine.
So these ones are part of my collection.
They all look the same.
Ready for the moss?
Yes, finally.
But it won't be that excited.
Yeah, I guess that's gonna be much slower as it should be. This is really weird.
Like planting moss one by one.
Yeah.
So ready for the fun part?
Yeah, you just sprinkle it.
Yep. First have to moisten everything one last time so the little moss particles can easily stick to the roots and roots.
Okay, we sprinkle it on the wood as well.
Yeah, you sprinkle it. Clean up the sides because then we don't want any moss too.
Oh, because it sticks to the water and then starts to grow on the glass. Okay, that we don't want.
It won't probably grow on the glass necessarily.
So we're gonna have algae in a tank without water. You would think that aquascaping is about patience, but I can see that terrariums, that's trial of patience. You done? It's just a bunch of dead moss.
Dried, but not dead.
Okay, how can you tell? It smells different? Or?
No, it tastes really the same. Usually, what I do is just pinch some, and then really not from far away, just sprinkle these.
Okay, so just salt and pepper to finish it off and you're good to go. While you are doing that, I'm gonna start to fill up the system, okay? So, now we're gonna turn this thing on. With the app, we can adjust how many times you want rain and how long it should be. And also the humidity, you can set a target, and then if the humidity is higher, then it starts to make airflow inside to dry it up. If it's lower, then it starts the cold mist to make it higher. It's the same with temperature. You can set it, and it actually has like a daily graph. So you can set it colder in the evening, warmer during the day. Obviously not for a setup like this, but if you want like a desert setup, then you can do that as well. You can change by warm light, neutral light and cool light, so you can adjust these separately. You can set the length of the day.
That sounds fine.
Yeah, that's like any other app. It works quite well actually. It's quite reactive. Okay, so that's it for today. Huge thanks to Oase for providing us with this BioBiorb as our sponsors. Huge thanks to Huba for helping me out with this build, because it would look a lot different if I have done it myself. And thank you for joining us, and see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.